Hello YouTube, this is Rascal Ryan 521, and I just want to say thanks for sticking with me for 100 videos, guys. I really appreciate it. All my fans are, and all my subscribers they're so special to me, and I just appreciate all the support you've given me throughout just about 2 years I've been making videos on YouTube. So this is my 100 video special. I've been thinking for about a week of what to do, guys. I just couldn't think of anything. So I figured it'd go not super special, but I figured I'd just show you my updated Lord of the Rings custom minifigures, as that's what I'm kind of moving into now, Lord of the Rings. But, yeah, so I'm just going to get started right away here. These are updated ones, and you're going to be seeing ones that you saw in my first video. Some of them, there'll be new ones, there'll be old ones, and there'll be some that just aren't updated yet. And some of the older ones will be updated, so yeah. This next one right here is, the first one right here, is Isildur. And Isildur is really cool. He's got that cool armor. Just got some, a gray torso. Some head and hair from Prince of Persia. His sword and the One Ring. And as you know, Isildur is the man that cut off Sauron's finger and stole the ring, took it for himself, didn't throw it into Mount Doom, and eventually got attacked by an orc pack. And the ring was lost in that river until Gollum, Smeagol, and Deagle found it years later. Next up here we have Faramir. And this is Boromir's brother, and he's not changed at all from my first video. But he's got some Prince of Persia torso, a green cape, because he's got just like a cloak or something, some kind of traveling cloak. Indiana Jones' face has got some, wavy hair. And then he's got, some kind of, and then his crossbow, and that's taken from Chewbacca, and that's pretty much it with him. Next up, I'm going to show you Galadriel. Once again, she's not changed from my first video, she's pretty much the same, and I really like her. I think she kind of came out looking cool. Surprised Lego hasn't made her yet, but I hear there's a Mirror of Galadriel Lego set coming out soon, there's a rumored list of 2014 Lord of the Rings sets. There's like a small battle pack sized one, like the Mirror of Galadriel. There's a Minas Tirith one that's like around the price, I think, of Helm's Deep, that's rumored. There's an Osgiliath one around $40, I think. I think there's also a Witch King Showdown that's supposed to be around like $60. I don't know. You can look up the rumors list for yourself and find them. I think I listed most of them though. Anyway, this is Galadriel, not wearing much, just like, a white gown, and then just a casual woman face and got taken from Indiana Jones. Then some Legolas hair, because she is an elf. Next up is her husband, Celeborn. He's pretty cool. You saw him in my Lothlorien mock video. He's just got, casual face, Prince of Persia body, and some kind of, blue, just some kind of blue decorative thing he's wearing. And then, of course, his long elf hair. Next up is the worst custom from my last video, which is now, I think, one of the cooler minifigures of mine. And that is, here, let me move him a little closer. That is Denethor. And Denethor, this is Boromir and Faramir's father. And, he's just kind of wearing some medieval clothes. A cloak, some long hair, because he kind of had that long blondish, that long blondish, brownish hair. And then he's got a Prince of Persia face on, and he's a cool character. And I always attach a piece, because I have him displayed in my Minas Tirith mock, and I have fire, kind of going, he's holding on to pieces of fire, because I kind of like to set up that scene where he's running off the tip of Minas Tirith, because he was a jerk. He deserved what he got. Sorry, I'm talking kind of fast. I know most of my videos are normally pretty long, and I'm trying to get this one moved along. Next one is, I don't know if they ever said his name in the book or in the movie, but I know for a fact that they said it a lot in the book, as I'm currently reading it. Almost done, actually. I think I'm at about Lothlorien in the book. And this is Barliman Butterbur. This is the innkeeper at the Prancing Pony. Plays a very minor role, like a small cameo in the movie. But in the book, he's a pretty, well, not major, for the chapter, he's a major character, but not throughout the book. But yeah, that's just him. He's got some Old West some Old West, like, Western torso. And then an old Dumbledore face and some gray legs, some brown legs, and yeah. And then next up is, I'm sorry, I don't have Mr. Sackville Baggins, but I do have Mrs. Sackville Baggins. And the Sackville Bagginses were those were the two really, snooty people that they completely despised Bilbo because they were, because they feel they should have inherited Bag End, but Bilbo got it instead. So they're just it kind of describes them in The Hobbit and in the beginning of the Fellowship. It describes them as like, sorry, it's like something in my throat. It describes them as like, they're waiting for Bilbo to just die so they can have Bag End. It's just, they're really jerk people. They're just jerks, and I'm pretty sure after a couple years has passed, like right around the time Frodo starts off on his adventure to take the ring to Rivendell, I'm pretty sure is around the time they inherit Bag End, but I think Mr. Sackville Baggins dies before, like, a couple years earlier. I think he died. Because they just kind of skip ahead, like, 30 years or something, like in that same chapter. So that's her. She's got, some casual gardening clothes taken from Harry Potter, I think, and then a snooty-looking face, and, some braided-up hair. Next up is another one you won't get if you haven't read the book. This is a Barrow-wight. In the Barrow Downs, I had put this in my Middle-earth mock after I read the scene in the book, so it was just awesome. The Barrow-wights, they kind of live, like, because the Barrow Downs are like this wasteland area. It's full of giant rock structures, all around, and, it's a really foggy grass, like, tall grass-like place, and these creatures, I don't really know how else to describe them other than Dementors, if you're familiar with Harry Potter. Because they're like, they're cloaked, skeleton-looking guys, or at least how they describe them in the book they are. They never featured the scene in the movie. There may have been a deleted scene that they never put in, I don't know. I watched the extended editions, but I've never really gone and looked through the bonus features and whatnot, and so I'll have to do that and see if maybe they did a deleted scene for this or something. But yeah, so it's just a skeleton I put in a cloak and some armor, and also, after the hobbits got captured and separated from Aragorn, because this was before they got to Rivendell when the scene happened. When Frodo woke up after being captured, he saw the other hobbits like laying down in this dungeon, and this creepy skeleton was like reaching for them, and Frodo just takes his sword, which I don't think he had Sting he got Sting in Rivendell. He took just some sword. I can't remember where he got his current sword, but he took it and he just hacked the arm right off of the guy. And I think when they left, it describes in the book, like, he saw the skeleton arm just laying there, like, twitching or something like that, and it was kind of creepy, but... So those are the Barrow-wights. Next up is just a random orc I took from the pirate ship ambush. And I put a skeleton head on him, because if you remember, there was an orc in the movie. He has a specific name, but I don't remember it. That had a skull, he had like a little helmet with a skull attached to it. Another orc skull, I think it was. So yeah, that's just him. If you know his name, tell me in the comments. I think I know it, but I just don't know it off the top of my head. I'm not that into detail with I'm not that, obsessed with my Lord of the Rings knowledge. Next up is updated due to many requests too, and I realize now that my older version was terrible. This is Eowyn. I still have the same sword and shield for her. The things I did change, though, is I finally gave her longer legs. The reason I gave her shorter legs before, by the way, I know you're probably wondering that, is because because I've seen the movies twice now, I finally got around to seeing them a second time. I just don't watch them more because they're so friggin' long. But after I watched them the second time, I realized that, when I saw them the first time, I remembered, specifically Eowyn being around the same size as Merry when they were charging into battle, but then when I rewatched it, I realized that wasn't the case, and she was, like a full human, like full human size, so that's why I decided to change her legs up. And then I gave her, yellow hair, I think Luna's from Harry Potter. So yeah, because I think that's how her hair is in the Battle of Pelennor Fields. Next up is one that is slightly updated, not in the sense, you know, like of the mask, but mainly in his armor. Whoops, or I mean in his, you know, clothes. He's got it's the Witch King of Angmar. I admit I'm sorry about that sword. I'm thinking about giving him the mace, like that piece that Lego uses as a mace. I think I'm gonna give him that. You know, he's got the helmet's still the same design, and then he has, you know, like I said, I just changed those clothes around, and that's a decal of Darth Maul's torso. Got offline. So yeah, that's him. Getting on to the last two. Just gonna really quickly show you this guy because you've already seen him. Changed nothing about Sauron. Sauron is still probably my favorite custom minifigure I've ever made to date. He's so cool. I was downstairs working, you know, with my Lego bins. I was just thinking for like literally about an hour, hour and a half, until I finally came up with the perfect design for his helmet. I think it looks awesome. So that's his helmet. It's got a regular black cape. His awesome mace. I love the design of his mace too. Another one of my, I think, cooler designs. And then I just got the one ring. And now, one of my favorite characters of the books, not in the movies, that's actually why I decided to make him, is because I passed this scene in the book a couple weeks ago, and I just figured he has to be my Middle-earth mock. If he's not, then, you know, then it's just, you know, nothing will be the same, you know, it won't be the same, because this guy, he's so iconic in the books, not in the movies, unfortunately, but I'm talking about Tom Bombadil. He's kind of this woodland guy, kind of reminds me, you know, he's just this quirky, you know, guy. He gets Frodo and the hobbits out of a bunch of crazy mishaps. He comes back and or you know what, no, actually, when I mentioned the Barrow-wights earlier, now that I think about it, actually, it wasn't Aragorn. They weren't with Aragorn at the time. That's right, no, it was Tom Bombadil that saved them from the Barrow Downs. And I think after that he led them, then he led them to Bree. And then that's where they met up with Aragorn. Okay, sorry, I'm getting mixed up here. But yeah, you'll see him in my Middle-earth mock in the section of the old forest that I have. You know, he's got like a Hogwarts torso, you know, because you can barely see his torso, it's fine. Blue arms and legs, because he wears blue clothing, and then a blue hat taken from the Diagon Alley set. And then a gray beard, and then Hagrid's head. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed, guys. Once again, thanks for, you know, sticking through with me for the last 100 videos. I've had a couple plans to do more videos, recently. I'm gonna definitely do a video on, like, my Christmas haul, because I want to show you guys that. I don't know why, it's just kind of a thing people do. I want to give you my thoughts on Brian's return in Family Guy. And what I think they could have done to possibly make it better, but I'm still glad at least they brought him back, that's good. And then I want to give you my thoughts on the Desolation of Smaug, and why I feel I disagree with a lot of people by thinking that An Unexpected Journey was a lot better. I'm not saying Desolation of Smaug is bad, but I feel that Unexpected Journey was just a lot better in the sense that it was way more accurate to the books. But that's another topic for another video. Thanks for watching, guys, and keep on subscribing.